I'm always trying to give expectant parents some tips on how to design their ideal nursery on a small budget. And I was wondering if you had some tips for our readers.
Yes, absolutely. We have some tips, and there's also a sweepstakes that we can talk about too.
Sure. So tell me about the sweeps. So it's $5,000 and it's sponsored by Playtex?
Yeah, Playtex Nursery, playtexbaby.com is sponsoring a $5,000 sweepstakes, which can go a long way to designing your dream nursery. And all you have to do to register is just to go to playtexbaby.com and sign up. So that's going to be awesome.
That is going to be awesome.
Yeah. People can go now through April 8th.
Through April 8th. Do you have any items that you consider to be must-haves for a nursery?
Obviously, a great safe crib that meets all the newest regulations. That's number one. A changing station is essential. You know, a fully stocked changing station with your diapers and your wipes and a change of clothing and a diaper pail. That's essential. I mean, you've got to dispose of them. And we love the Diaper Elite, the Diaper Genie Elite. I don't know if you're familiar with that product, but
yes.
It's got a super sleek design that's very, very cool. And it also has the foot pedals, so it makes it very convenient. You can keep your hands on your baby while you're doing the change and never have to take your hands off, which is, I love.
Yes, yes. Now, you mentioned a safe crib, and it's funny because you and your husband actually built your own crib when you were expecting.
We did. That's how we started our company. We've been designing and producing cribs for almost 16 years, so yeah.
It's very funny because I don't know if you've seen the trend online. A lot of people are buying really inexpensive cribs like IKEA cribs and modifying them to fit their design needs.
Right.
Do you agree with what they're doing? Do you have any suggestions of how to make sure that the modifications they're making are safe?
Well, I never recommend anybody modify a crib because the minute you change it, it no longer meets the safety regulations. And I just advise parents to go to the CPSC website and make sure that the crib they're using is meeting all the regulations. But yeah, the minute you change it, it's no longer been approved.
Didn't think of that. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Great. Do you have any suggestions on how to make a nursery design process less stressful? I know that I was losing my mind.
It can be so overwhelming. I mean, it's such an emotional space. It's where your baby's going to sleep, and it can be overwhelming. But if you just break it down into some steps, there's broad stroke considerations that can make the process a lot more relaxing. Number one is just to kind of consider the size of your room. Lots of times it's a smaller room in the house, so you want to, you know, keep the colors and the tone of the room light and bright to maximize the space. Choose products that can do double duty, like a changer that can be a dresser as well. And the second tip would be to create that great changing space, as I said. That's really important to make sure it's well stocked. You got your Diaper Genie Elite, everything's within hand's reach, so you're not really leaving that space to do anything that you need to do. And then the third tip would be to kind of personalize the space. I mean, I've seen some gorgeously designed space, and there was nothing of the person in the room, and it really loses a lot when that happens. So put something that just tugs at your own heartstrings. Maybe it's something from your own childhood. Maybe it's your childhood teddy bear or little silver rattle, or it could be framed photographs. I just love playfulness in a nursery, like of your childhood, of you playing, and it makes the space so unique to you, and when you walk in, it brings back all that wonderful childhood memory. So if you could just do those three things, and you know, that doesn't cost a lot, it can make the space so special and fantastic.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. We have a lot of pictures of my husband and I as babies in my daughter's room, and she gets a kick out of it because she can't even imagine that we were babies.
I love that. And, and also, a lot of times if you're far away from your family, it's a way, I mean, having a baby is a family affair. It's a way to include your family in that process. So that's always one of my favorite things, is try to get the parents to think about, what did you love most about your childhood, and just put something of that in your room.
That's a great, great tip. And how about organization? Because, you know, a beautiful nursery can look like a monsoon just passed by in a matter of seconds.
Well, I don't know. The littlest people on the earth have the most things, right? It's just
Yes.
crazy. Well, you know, organizing your space is essential if you're going to keep your sanity in that nursery. And again, the changing station with everything just at your fingertips and organized, and just a place to dispose of your stuff, like the diaper pail. But beyond that, the overwhelming amount of toys and things, kids get so much stuff, and it's overwhelming for them. So I recommend just keeping a few items out and then just rotating them so the constant clutter is gone and you're not overwhelming your baby. So pick 4 of their favorite things and keep that in the space. Put everything else in the closet. Baskets are great. They make so many cool baskets. There's wicker baskets and egg baskets and fabric baskets, and they can be really fun and add some splash of color, and just put everything in baskets. It's the easiest way to clean up the clutter.
Great, great. This is a question that I actually get a lot on the website, because most of the time, most of the parents that I speak to only have 2 bedrooms in their homes.
Right.
So once they're having a baby, the guest room is basically gone.
Yeah.
So a lot of them want to sort of make the nursery also function as a guest bedroom. I was wondering if you had any tips on how to make the design sort of cohesive.
That, you know, that does happen a lot. One of the things I recommend is just try to get a really cool daybed that matches with your nursery furnishings. And then it also looks like a couch, so it doesn't look like you have another giant bed and the crib is an afterthought. And it's a great place. Inevitably, the dad is always stretching out, napping in there. So just do a really cool daybed, some funky pillows that work with the same colors. And you can get them in wood and wrought iron. Really, there's a daybed for every design aesthetic. So that's the quickest and the easiest way to kind of do double duty on the nursery and a guest room as well.
I love that suggestion, a daybed, because a lot of people want to keep their queen mattress in there, but it really
overwhelms.
It really does look like an afterthought, the crib.
Yeah, and it's the baby space. I mean, that's the primary use of the room. Really, the guest is the afterthought, not the baby. So.
Great suggestion. Great suggestion. How about some nursery design trends? And there's so many right now, and I love them all.
I know.
But I was wondering if you had any favorites right now.
One of the things I love that I'm seeing happening is people kind of breaking the traditional design rules. It used to be, you know, you had a modern nursery, or you had a traditional nursery, or you had like a clean and classic nursery. But people are mixing the elements. I just saw a nursery we just did a nursery that I loved, and it was a really modern, stark space with concrete walls and exposed piping and raw floors, and they put this, we do I don't know if you know our company, Bratt Decor, but we do this ornate silver, really ornate furniture. It's called the Chelsea Collection, and they put that in this stark modern space.
Oh my goodness.
And the result was fantastic, and I love that mixing of energies. And so I'm seeing a lot of that, and I'm seeing a lot more sophisticated cool tones, like a lot of grays and metallics and taupes, and I love that. I love the traditional pink and blue. I mean, that's always fantastic, but people are just breaking away and doing some really daring things that I think are wonderful.
No, absolutely. I mean, Pantone picked honeysuckle pink as their color of the year, but I'm going to pick gray as the color of the decade.
I agree.
People are loving gray, and I love gray, especially on the walls. You can do so much with
it.
Gray.
It is so sophisticated and elegant. Gray is just beautiful. You can make it really conservative by trimming it out in white, and that just looks so tried and true. Or you can just take it to the next level and just make it really modern, like putting big, bold, hot pink stripes or orange stripe, or doing some kind of a metallic trim and just change it. Gray is the most versatile, beautiful color in the whole wide world right now.
It really is. It really is. And here's a question about Bratt Decor. You know, Dwell Studio did a line with Target.
Yes.
Any chance that Bratt Decor might partner with a big box store like Target to have an affordable nursery line, maybe in the future? Well,
we haven't really. It's something that we would love to do, because I love our line, but it is a higher price line. So we did come out with a more affordable line. It's my husband's design. It's called Mary Bauer Collection by Bratt Decor, and right now we only have one item in it. It's a crib and a changer. It's a wrought iron crib and changer. It is so beautiful. It's called Joy, and you could see it on our website at brattdecor.com. And the crib is $495. And
Really?
It's wrought iron, and it is fantastic.
I did not know that. See, I will be showcasing that crib this week.
Yeah.
I love all of your designs, absolutely.
Thank
but
you.
Unfortunately, my budget.
Yeah, I know.
That's great, though. $495 is perfect.
And the changer's under $400. So
really?
Yeah, I can send you images of that if you email me mbauer@brattdecor.com. I'll make sure you get the high-res images. But
that would be great.
Yeah.
Sure. And my last question is about celebrity nurseries. Now, we know that you've done a handful of them.
Yeah.
And we don't want you to play favorites, but we do. Anyone that really stands out that you had maybe so much fun designing it, or that maybe the end result was far beyond what you expected it to be and you just absolutely loved it?
Yeah, the most recent was the Mario Lopez Nursery, and that was really fun. They were just easy to work with. They had an idea of what they wanted. We had lots of time. And again, they did all the grays and silvers. It was really, really beautiful.
Great. Now that you're talking about that, one more question. You know, a lot of parents have, a very good idea of what they want the room to look like, but a lot of them are overwhelmed by so many beautiful ideas that they find online. Do you have any tips on how to help parents sort of zone in on what kind of style they actually like and then just go from there?
Yeah, I tell them just to pick up like a House Beautiful or a Veranda and just pull out some style sheets that they love and just focus on one item and build their nursery around that.
Great. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to speak with you, Mary.
And you, Nicole. Thank you so much.